Well, that was fun. Only had to use lockers a couple times. Today we're gonna be trying out for the first time this 270-degree awning with the walls because it's been raining today and I don't want to get covered in rain. And then of course our rooftop tent. So I'm gonna kind of take you guys through the process of setting it up. This is gonna be nice for rainy days like this, where it's not like pouring down rain, but it's just kind of on and off. It'll be nice to have some shelter, some peace of mind. We just got our two straps, and this whole thing will just fall somehow. There we go. So we'll just push this out and get our guy lines in a sec. Folding this up is kind of another story, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. I think there's supposed to be, oh, there is one more leg. There it is. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I'm actually just gonna leave this here. I'm gonna use my ratchet strap that I got to secure it. Seems sketchy with the wind, but yeah, it'll probably fall back down, but whatever. So there's a little hook here on the awning so you can get a ratchet strap. This isn't actually a ratchet strap, it's more of like a, I don't know what you call this, a motorcycle strap. It's the kind you just pull through. And we'll go ahead and cut all this excess later since we know that that's the right length. But that looks about good. So I'll just leave this here now. Try to get a little tighter, there we go. Now we can start setting up our legs. I really like these Ironman 4x4 compression lock style legs because you just twist them left or right. Doesn't really matter which way. And they'll come out, and then that's how you also secure them back into the upper portion. So there's one. And these have got some Velcro to keep them secured. This whole thing is pretty nice. I bet that sounds great. So yeah, you just untwist it like that, boom. Give it some support, and Bob's your uncle. I hear what sounds like to be a V8 of some sort. Sounds like it's coming up the trail. Possibly. Might have some friends tonight. Maybe not. They do make a freestanding awning that you don't need these legs for, but I like the legs because it allows for those walls that I'm going to show you here in a sec. All right, that's pretty cool. And they actually make some lights that go in this channel here, which I definitely do want to get. I think it's $100 for these three here, and then it'll provide lighting, obviously, for the under part here. So that'll be nice eventually. So now we can get our walls out along with the guy lines. I don't know that we're gonna really need the guy lines. Oh, this is a potential issue right here. Well, actually it doesn't lift it off the ground, so the tailgate contacting this portion here, so not a big issue. This is part of the kit that the guy on Facebook Marketplace was super nice. And after he sold me the awning and the tent for $1,600, I got these for $1,600. Huge shout out, I'll put your name right here, forget your name, sorry. And he was like, you know what, I've got the walls, just take them. And I owe you a camping trip. We will camp sometime soon. So it looks like this just Velcros on with relative ease. Let's give it a try. And you can move these around kind of wherever you want to, which is the cool thing. Let's see. As easy as that, huh? That's pretty cool. I'm a fan of that. And we'll just press it from the other side since we don't have the outside lip on this. And that's not even all the way on there, but it ain't going anywhere. And we'll get the second one on. You just look for that Ironman logo here, and that goes on the outside, obviously. And this has Velcro to attach the other wall as well, which is pretty cool. This will be easier to do from the other side because the Velcro's on the outside on the other one. So let's try it from the outside. But we'll just hook this in here like so. Press it up against. There's a nice hangnail on the thread there. That feels great. So nice. So much better than a zipper. Boom. Just like that. So then we'll get our windows up. Might as well. It's not to the point where it's not monsooning out here, so I'd assume these just roll up. And there's probably a little peg underneath to go into these eyelets here. I would assume. Yep, there are. There's 3 of them. So I'll just hook these in there. And if it starts raining, we just close them. We'll get some tent stakes in here so that we can secure the bottoms just for aesthetics. And we parked a little close to this fire pit, so I'm not going to go all the way extended on this. And we're just looking for a light securement of sorts. Same with this side. I'm just pulling it out to give myself a little bit more room. I'm not really worried about how, great this looks right now. Yeah, and it's starting to rain, so this is actually perfect. We're gonna get some more tent stakes on this side, give ourselves a little bit more room, and we'll be set for the night. All right, well, we got it all set up. So epic views, which is always awesome, and it's just starting to rain. So we got it set up just in time. I guess something to be mindful of is to keep all the stuff you want to access in this passenger side door. But there's so much room in here. I mean, here's all my camping and cooking stuff, table, chair. We brought propane this time. I read all your comments about the hot stove. We're going to be plenty warm tonight. Windows are open, so we get nice views. And yeah, it's a great place to be. I do like that these are able to kind of go out triangularly. I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, it's nice having that extra bit of room there. And, you can push this all the way up against everything. I could manage my space a little bit better, but yeah, pretty cool. We're going to get our cooking going here in a sec. We're going to make some chicken noodle soup, but yeah, epic views. First thing I'm going to do right off the bat is fill up these propane containers. And the way we do that is with this little guy. It hooks into the bigger propane bottle and allows you to fill these smaller 1-pound bottles up. So we're going to do that so we can use our buddy heater tonight. Just good preventative maintenance, so I don't have to do that in the middle of the night, So last time I did this, I got frostbite on my hand, which was really fun because I opened the valve when it wasn't secured. So we don't want to do that again. So just make sure that your hand's out of the way. Wear gloves, like I'm not doing. And then you won't get frostbite, hopefully. There we go. So we're just going to let that fill, probably about 60 seconds. I've done this a few times. That way we'll have extra propane for tonight. These are 1-pound bottles. You can fill them to 2 pounds. I don't recommend it. I don't have a scale, so I just kind of go by listening. This is very dangerous. I don't recommend doing this at home. Well, we've got to get our rooftop tent set up. We don't have to, but I need to take a thumbnail before it gets dark. So we'll go ahead and just pop this up. There's just one here. You're not going to be able to see this one. I can't even see it right now. And we should be able to push it up from this side. Let's see. Maybe not. Once the gas struts start kicking, it should go up. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. Not so bad. So lesson learned, you want to have your rooftop tent set up before you do the awning. It wasn't that bad, but it makes it a lot easier. So remember that for next time. All right, so we got our rooftop tent all opened up and set up. We don't leave it open, obviously, but yeah, those supports there were a little hard to get in. Nah, they weren't that hard. You just have to know how to do it. Repetition, I'll learn how to figure it out after a few times. We'll close up the sides in a few minutes here. I just wanted to get a nice thumbnail. Well, in order to connect this bottle to this stove, you need a little brass fitting that I forgot at home. So that means we're not going to be able to cook on our Coleman burner. So that means we're going to try and have to salvage what firewood we have left. Come over to this fire over here and see if we can get something started. It's pretty wet, all the stuff in it, but we do have some dry firewood, so let's see if we can get it started. You know what I love is showing up to a campsite and just finding a bunch of trash and bits of glass, mind you, as I'm scraping them out, trying to make a fire here. Just, you know, BBs, shotgun shells, all the things. I really love it. Great job, guys. And we wonder why these trails get shut down. Yeah, I'm going to pick all that up in the morning, but I need to get this going so I can eat. Luckily, I remembered to bring my butane this time. That video I made, that short about not being able to have a fire through the whole night, I didn't have any extra butane that night. So that also made the whole thing really interesting. So I had this one little lighter here, butane lighter. That's all I had left. So I had one little lighter and I had to keep the fire going all night. So I know that I didn't prepare correctly, but I think we're just gonna go with a buddy heater for now. I actually wanna get a setup where I can do some sort of AGM battery and solar on top of the rooftop tent, and then just have a little 12-volt heater and be able to run that all night, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just straight cheating on this. Thank God this wood is dry. We're just gonna torch the hell out of this and hope we get lucky. Otherwise we ain't eating tonight, which is no biggie. You know, I need to have a dedicated setup for this thing. I need to get a drawer system to where I'm not having to use my cutlery and all my stuff that I use from inside, because I always forget something. You guys ever forget anything when you go camping? I mean, that's pretty huge to forget that little brass line. Ay, ay, ay. Well, we got enough butane. We'll get this thing going and we'll be able to cook over the campfire. Yay! All right, so we're doing a little chicken noodle soup. Got this orange bell pepper I decided to add in, because why not? It was actually super awkward. These guys rolled up in a truck and they didn't even know I was here. They rolled up right before dark, so they probably didn't see this little LED light I have. But then they were like trying to gather firewood and they were like coming over here. So of course I got my gun ready. Like, they're like yelling and shouting and stuff. Probably just some young kids. Maybe they're the ones who left these beer cans and whiskey bottles here. I heard one of them say, "Somebody's here." And then they just kind of all loaded up in their truck and then took off. It's kind of funny, but it's like also like in northern Idaho, like from what I've heard, there's like some weirdos. So yeah, it's always good to be prepared. Feel much better about having a gun than not having a gun. And we'll just cut up a little bit of celery and a little bit of red onion. This knife is actually really hard to cut with, but it looks so cool. It's got the cool factor, so that makes up for the lack of culinary ergonomics. It's starting to rain, so that means that our fire is going to go out relatively soon if we don't hurry up. So we got to cook the chicken breast and the bacon in the pan first. That's going to give us a bunch of flavor. Ain't nothing like Fred Meyer bacon. It's cheap. I've had it for years. Tastes good. Adds flavor to everything. And we'll squeeze a lemon in there for some acidity. And then we'll just rudimentarily chop this parsley up. Throw that in there. Yeah, you know, give it a little freshness. Just add some greens, man. Add some greens to your diet. You'll feel better. And that'll be good. It's all just going to reduce down in there. So chicken and bacon are cooking down here real nice. Camera's going to get wet, so I don't want to stay here too long. But yeah, make do with what you got. All right, well, we are falling behind here. Getting a lot of rain. And just trying to get this finished here before the fire dies out. So yeah, adding some free-range chicken stock. This is probably all we need. I've got a little chicken broth as well. Yeah, because we still got to add our pasta. Probably should have brought a bigger pan. Too little, too late. You know we go with Rouse. I've been to the restaurant in New York City. Really good pasta. This is fusilli? Fusilli. Like that episode of Seinfeld, Fusilli Jerry. We're just going to throw a bunch of this in. Probably not the whole thing. and then just go right back over the fire. Gonna add a little bit of chicken broth. The pasta is gonna lap up all that liquid, so try and get this as full as we can. It's gonna bubble over, but what are you gonna do? It ain't perfect, we're camping. Trying to do a little one pot wonder, you know what I mean? So this is what we're working with right now. And it's working. Hopefully it doesn't fall over while I'm handling the camera. Well, I think that turned out pretty darn well, given the circumstances. I'm dropping it everywhere. But yeah, that'll work. It's never gonna be perfect when you're camping, but it should taste good. And my chair's wet, everything's wet because I left those windows open. Trying to film and do all this at the same time is like tough. It's tough. Yeah, but it's all right. We're having a good time. It's also nice to just have a warm meal when it's cold and wet like this. It'll be interesting to see how warm we can keep tonight with that buddy heater. Well, here we are. We've got our buddy heater. We've got our carbon monoxide detector, so we know that we're not getting any carbon monoxide from this, mostly because we're venting it here pretty well. And yeah, life is good. I need a lot more charging capability than I currently have for wireless mics, cell phones, camera batteries, etc. But yeah, for right now, this is really pleasant. This is, I can't really describe how nice this is. To be dry, up away from everything, and that awning was a huge game changer, honestly. Yeah, some things got wet because I left the windows open, but I mean, I can't express how happy I am to have this. It's such a nice setup. Yeah, I'm looking forward to many more nights in this. I left all the food out down below and didn't clean anything up because it's all undercover. I don't need to clean it up. I can clean it up in the morning. Yeah, there could be bears, but you know, we've got things for bears, we've got things for intruders. Somebody did come to the camp relatively late and they didn't realize that I was here, so not an issue. I'm going to do a little bit of editing, get to sleep, and I'll see you in the morning and let you know how the heat situation goes through the night. Well, I slept like an absolute baby last night. Couldn't ask for more from this tent and this setup. We've got that buddy heater going, and I really only used it on and off. I would kind of wake up and put it on for about 15 minutes and go back to sleep, but I've got the full tent opened up now, except for these little side windows, but yeah, it's nice to have that ventilation early in the morning. And views are pretty cool out of this thing. Lots and lots of water all over the awning, but that's fine. We'll shake all that off before we put it up. Definitely very happy with this setup. It's so nice. And that keeps a lot of the rain off here. I actually used this ratchet strap to hang my boots because they were a little wet, so hopefully all the water drained out of them. This is quite the setup. Definitely a huge fan of this tent. Stayed at very low, if no, carbon monoxide levels all night. And yeah, we'll start packing out now and taking everything down, show you how easy it is to unpack this thing and fold everything up. I'm gonna make sure we get as much water off as we can so we don't have mold build up on the awning or any of the other pieces. We're gonna have to air it out on a sunny day. But yeah, definitely a huge fan. Got lucky finding this for $1,600. I never thought I would have a rooftop tent. Never thought I would mount one on an 80 series. And I was kind of worried about the off-roading aspect of it, but after hitting that track, that little track to get up here, yeah, I'm gonna make sure everything's tightened down, of course, but pretty impressed at how well it stayed mounted to the top of the Land Cruiser. So all right, time to stop being lazy and get down and start packing stuff up. All right, let's see how long it takes to take down this whole setup. Obviously, this is only going to take a second. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. A couple minutes. Now, I think if I keep this orange strap here, it'll make things a lot easier. Should be able to just fold up all of these legs without having it concave on me. So we'll lock that in. Go straight up. Those little green things help as a bushing, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. Strap all of our Velcro. I've been really lucky, as it's been raining on and off all night, that it hasn't been raining for like the last hour. And to be honest, I was kind of just being lazy in bed, waiting for the rain to stop. And it got lucky. And again, super unprepared. Should have brought a raincoat. Should have brought the propane line for the stove so I can actually cook and not try and start a fire in the rain. So now we're just going to take this orange ratchet strap off, and that'll allow it to just fold in. Again, this is covered in water, not ideal. As I'm closing it, it looks like I'll have a lot more ability to get some of this rain off, but I don't know that it's gonna be a good idea to let this sit zipped up in its pouch for a long time. So hopefully we'll get some sun here in Idaho eventually. We will. It's only a matter of time. Summer is coming. Now, oh, actually, look at that. I made more work for myself than I actually needed. A lot of it will actually just bead off. I think this is Rooftop fabric, some sort of polyniotherylene or something. So from here, I was having issues getting it all to fold up before. I think what I can do, kind of fold it all back over itself now. And it's just it's a little bit of a dance, you know, until you figure it out. And I think that's gonna give us enough clearance. Is that gonna give us enough clearance? We're gonna concern ourselves with this strap first. I didn't look up the method in which to make this a lot easier for myself. There's probably a much easier way to do this. Yeah, actually that worked. It doesn't feel like it's gonna close at first, but then, yeah, these obviously act as a ratchet strap. When you pull them down, it kind of sucks it all in. Now the question is, will it be able to close? So I ended up losing all the rest of the footage where I secured it back into its casing, but yeah, this was a really successful trip. I am super happy with this setup. I think it's going to provide unique opportunities in the future to have multiple people camp with me and to just have a really cozy setup. So if you're looking into purchasing this, definitely look for sales, as Ironman 4x4 goes into sales season pretty much every few months. And yeah, if you have any comments, suggestions, questions, please comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one.